When will God put an end to the suffering that's going on in the world? That's a fair question, and it's a very valid one. And I will answer it at the end of this video, so stick around, please. First, though, we do need to talk about why there's evil in the world to begin with. In Matthew 13, we find the parable of the weeds, or the tares. And the parable goes that a farmer went out to sow his garden, and while he was sleeping, one of his enemies came and sowed a bunch of seeds of weeds, unwanted plants. And his servants came and says, we only planted good plants. Where did these come from? And notice the farmer said, an enemy has done this. A lot of people blame God for all the sin and evil that's going on in the world today, but it's not his fault. An enemy has done this. And who is that enemy? Satan himself. Now in the Garden of Eden, God told Adam, don't eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Because if you do, you will die. You will bring sin into the world. But as we know the story goes, they took the fruit, they ate it. Satan tempted Eve, Eve tempted Adam, and that opened the floodgates of sin and wickedness and suffering on this world. You see, in heaven, Satan became obsessed with himself. He wanted God's power. He became obsessed with his beauty, with his talents, and eventually he was cast out of heaven. But God promises that he will destroy sin and Satan. Okay, but when? After the millennium in Revelation chapter 20, that is when sin and Satan and sinners will be destroyed. Malachi says they will be left neither root nor branch. They will all be consumed to ashes. And Revelation 21 verse 4 states that after the punishment of the wicked, God will recreate earth. There will be no more sorrow, no more tears, no more crying, no more pain. All of that stuff has passed away. And no, hell will not be eternal. But the thing that we also need to keep in mind is that it is within our power to alleviate the suffering of other people. And whenever we see suffering that it is within our power to do something about, we should. That's the example that Jesus gave us. He was always alleviating pain, suffering, disease. So if you're interested, there's 2 chapters in a book called The Great Controversy that you can read that I would highly recommend you read. And you can find this book for free online. Chapter 29, The Origin of Evil. And the very last chapter, The Controversy Ended. And honestly, I highly recommend you read the entire book of The Great Controversy. But those 2 chapters, I pray, will help you a lot. God will put an end to everything that's going on in the world today. I promise you that. He promises you that.